Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. Today I will be speaking to you about patents. What they are, why you would want one, the appropriate time to get one, and a little bit of just how they work. So I'm going to open up with a bit of a family story. Sometime in the 1800s, I had a great-great-great-grandfather named James Alexander Maxwell who was an inventor. He lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and like most great inventors, he had an apprentice. He invented many great things that he got patents on, such as the dishwasher and the washing machine, which of course we've updated more today because they were quite simple back then, but they started the basis for those things. One of the most important things that he invented that was life-saving was called the air brake. And this air brake worked on trains in order to stop them. See, before the trains were going so fast that when they were trying to unhook them, people would get crushed because they'd run into each other. The air brake saved millions of lives just by stopping that train. Now, he noticed a correlation since he didn't get a patent on this device. When he was inventing this, his apprentice suddenly quit. Now, before he realized what was going on, his apprentice had already gotten a patent on his invention, thus stealing my great-great-great-grandfather's life-saving invention. Now, the definition of a patent, according to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, is a patent is something protected by a trademark or a brand name as to establish proprietary rights. This basically, in a nutshell, means the government gives you a license for a set amount of time so that no one can steal your product. Now we'll be taking a look at some of the things involved in obtaining a patent. Instances that you might want to obtain a patent. This is basically when you've made an invention. You've created a process, an invention, anything basically that you have thought of and put into action. Now we will be looking at when you would want to get a patent. Patent Informatics is a website that has all kinds of information about patents. They suggest when developing the invention first, your patent may be too narrow and leave things out. This basically says it all. You're definitely going to want to invent your invention before you get the patent. People are constantly coming up with new ideas and theories and things they think will work on their invention and make it better and more enjoyable for people who are buying it. If you get a patent before you invent, it's going to not cover everything in your invention. So now that we know the first steps to obtain a patent, I would like to delve a little deeper. What can you get a patent on? The USPTO.gov is a government website that has some ideas of when to get what you can patent and what you cannot patent. A few things you can. A process. If you've made a process for making bread or making a computer program, you can patent that. A machine, something you have physically made or invented with your hands. An ornamental design of an article. Something that you've taken someone else's invention and made it bigger and newer and better. A few things you cannot patent. Laws of nature. I mean, come on, really? Ice, snow, emotions, feelings, love, hate, things like that. Abstract ideas. You just thought, this would work great, and you didn't put it into any process or prove that it would work great. Illiteracy, dramatic, musical, and artistic works. Basically, a play, a musical, a book, a novel, anything like that. It cannot be patented, but it can be copyrighted. Or any item that is morally offensive. This one pretty much goes without saying. So in conclusion, a patent is pretty much something that the government gives you to prove that what you invented is yours. To keep your name on something. Prove that you helped save lives or helped reinvent the future. Let's finish the story. It turns out that the man who had stolen my great-great-great-grandfather's invention was named George Westinghouse. A few of you guys may have heard of him. Because Westinghouse had stolen my great-great-great-grandfather's invention, he started the foundation for the Westinghouse fortune. They were rich in the 1800s, and they still are now. Although we don't know for a fact that this is true, my grandfather went to the Westinghouse Museum and spoke with the curator himself. While they were working together and speaking together, my grandfather asked about the story. The curator said, "We are not allowed to talk about the Maxwells at this museum." This sparked my grandfather's interest, so later they stepped outside and talked about it more. It turns out the whole Westinghouse clan knew about how they got their fortune and about the Maxwell family story. Thank you guys for coming, and I hope you learned something about patents.